Let's get straight into this. What a start to the show as Miz and the Mr. Rush have Kurt Angle as guest on Miz TV, and the intensity and hype is through the roof. Miz verbally destroys Corbin again in response to his comments about Muddies and his unborn daughter. And if Miz doesn't win come the pay-per-view, I'll start a damn riot. Miz, as he tends to do on the show, pushes Kurt's buttons until he gets hot, and Kurt tells him that Braun agreed to be in the team only after he promised him a match against Miz later in the night. And Miz, because he's Miz, literally gets on his knees and begs Kurt to cancel the match as our general manager angrily leaves the ring. Bah! I love it! Raw should start like this every goddamn week. Fucking Jason Jordan always interrupting Elias's fantastic hits. I would have rather seen Elias sing for 10 minutes than have a fucking guitar on a pole match. I like my Raw medium rare with a little less Russo in it, if you don't mind. But the match was what it was. It was over in the blink of an eye. Jordan won by smashing the guitar on Elias's back, and I'd like to think that it's now safe to say that this one is over. Let's hope so. I'm looking forward to something new happening with these two men. Backstage, the Bar approach Kurt Angle and tell him, "Hey, Kurt, Seth and Dean aren't that big a deal, and they won't get the job done at Survivor Series. So we want to become the champs and take on the Usos because we will get the job done." Kurt then says, "All right then, believable enough, and they got one more shot for the tag titles against them later on. And I'm all for it because we all know how good they all are, so they'd put on a goddamn good show." Asuka quickly then submits another jobber by the name of Stacey Coates, and that's that. Her winning streak continues, and there isn't much else to say about that, other than I hope that she isn't simply fed jobbers for months to come. There are other ways to keep a talent's momentum, and it doesn't take a booker to know that. It's fine for the time being, but here's to hoping that she's in a good program with someone sooner than later. Interviewed by Charlie, Titus O'Neil says that Samoa Joe's in trouble after what he did to him in Apollo last weekend. Then Samoa Joe kicks his ass and leaves him laying on the ramp and then storms down to the ring and says, "Bitch, no one's bigger and better than I am, and if anyone wants to prove me wrong, then get down here and do it." And he looks like the badass that he is. And then Finn Balor answers the challenge, because I guess that's his shtick now, to answer to everyone's weekly challenge, because I guess they've got nothing better for him. Or that's what I would have said, were it not for the fact that him and Joe got it on like Donkey Kong in an awesome match that finished in a double countout, but it's understandable, because they're saving the best for later. Kurt Angle came out with a bunch of security and referees to separate them both, and then announced that both men are on the Raw team. Aha! Yes! That definitely adds interest to the cross-brand tag match. Angle, Strowman, Balor, and Joe. Just yes! And then right after that, Kurt Angle is seen backstage with his son Jordan and tells him that he wants someone on the Raw team that he can trust, and he names him the last member. Alright, I just got done saying that I hope Jordan moved on to something more interesting and meaningful, and this is certainly more meaningful. And shut the fuck up, Booker, and make up your goddamn mind on whether you like the guy or not. He's a talented man, and like Corey said, it only makes sense to want to have a trustworthy family member in the team. So shut up! Backstage, Bayley and Sasha say that they need to be in Raw's women's team, and they end up winning their tag match against Nia and Alicia to prove it, with Sasha submitting Alicia with her finisher yet again. That makes what? 4 times that Sasha has beat her like that? Why is Alicia captain again? But anyway, I guess the story continues because Alicia only added Sasha to the team, and Bayley was left feeling excluded. Presumably, she'll be added next week, because really, if not Bayley, then who else? Renee Young looked adorable when she stuck out her fist like the Shield after she interviewed Rollins and Ambrose. I just wanted to point that out. It was cute. It was funny. Yeah. A 205 replay plays, and I immediately think to myself, maybe I should skip this. And then Enzo comes out and he goes on and on on in the ring, and the crowd is dead for him, and so am I, and I was more than ready to skip on to the next part of the show, and then UK champ Pete motherfucking Dunne gets introduced by Kurt Angle, and they've caught my interest again, and the match takes place, and like it was with Asuka versus Emma, Enzo got too much offense in for my taste. Dunne felt like a big deal as he made his way down, and the crowd was firmly behind him, and it showed once he won the match. What does this mean for the UK champ? Is he staying on Raw in 205 for good, or was this a one-time thing because the show took place in Manchester? Fuck if I know, but it was awesome. But wait, I do know, because right after it was revealed that the 205 division has apparently invited the UK division to 205 Live, and that is something interesting that'll certainly revitalize that show. Even I'm tempted to tune in to check it out and see what happens. The Tag Team Championship match then takes place, and both teams start up swinging for the fences and continue to do so in a main event worthy match that had me predicting that Rollins and Ambrose would retain, because why wouldn't they, right? Well, my prediction was wrong, and it was wrong because the Blue Brand struck again in the form of the New Day, making an appearance mid-match and stating that the second part of their siege was starting out, which got Kurt and the whole Raw roster riled up and out at ringside. But nothing happens. SmackDown does not attack again. Instead, it just turns out to be a diversion that allowed the Bar to win back the tag titles when Sheamus bro-kicked Rollins for the win, and it was awesome. They want the Raw team to be as divided as possible, and they made all of Raw look like a bunch of twats. Well played, SmackDown. Well played. And that was Raw this week. What a show! I wish it hooked me and pumped me up for its entirety every week like this week's show did. What did you think of Raw this week? Tell me with a comment right here or on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Wrestling20x20. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button under siege before you go. But until then, I hope to see you here for SmackDown's episode. Because you love me, I know you do. Because if you didn't, you'd be an egg-sucking dog, Ross, you fat bastard.